What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Saturday, January 4th, 2025, and I have another emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 21:18 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from Russia. And also, I want to update you guys on the situation with the Cybertruck bomber outside of the Trump Hotel in Vegas, Matt Livelsberger. So, on Friday, yesterday, the Sean Ryan YouTube channel released a video where Sean Ryan interviewed a guy who claims to have received an email from Matt Livelsberger, and in the email it talks about how the drones that we were seeing off the East Coast were some kind of Chinese anti-gravity drones, and only the US and China have them. And also in this email, apparently the US struck like an entire village in Afghanistan, 125 structures, and killed a bunch of civilians. Well, it's looking more and more likely that that email was BS. There's a lot of prominent YouTube channels out there now saying that this email is a bunch of BS, and one channel I recommend you guys check out is Valhalla VFT. I don't have any personal contact with this person here on the screen, but he just posted a video where he basically talks about why this email is BS, and he's a special operations veteran, so he knows what he's talking about. He basically said that some of the signs that caught his attention, that he knew right away when he saw them that this was BS, was that in the email it said that he was an 18Z and that he had access to UAP information. And he said that that's basically BS, that people at the 18Z level don't have access to UAP information about UFOs and things like that. He said that that's basically really high up in the food chain, and 18Zs are just too low. They don't have access to that. And he also said that the claim that 125 structures in Afghanistan were bombed in 2019 was also BS, because he said that when he was in Afghanistan, just getting permission to strike one structure was a big deal, let alone 125. So he's saying that this is a bunch of BS. Again, a special operations veteran, okay? So he knows what he's talking about. Check out his channel. Check out his video, which he just posted today. So like I said, guys, anytime information like that drops, you always have to give it some time, okay? Analyze it, think critically. Don't just, accept everything that's fed to you, okay? Don't take everything at face value. You have to think deeper. You have to think critically, all right? So we have some major breaking news coming in from Russia. Russia is banning flights over the airspace of Icbm launch sites from January 13th to January 18th. And here's one of the NOTAMs that was posted over Kapustin Yar. Now, Kapustin Yar is where Russia launched the Oreshnik from the first time they launched the Oreshnik at Ukraine. So there is a NOTAM up from January 13th to January 18th over Kapustin Yar. There's also like 24 airspace closures from January 17th to January 22nd over various parts of Russia, specifically in the Rostov flight information region. Okay, so that's the area near Rostov-on-Don in Russia, just to the east of Ukraine, like where Stalingrad was, that area over there, just to the north of the Caucasus. That's exactly where the Kapustin Yar facility is located. So something could be going down next week or the week after, right before Trump gets inaugurated. Russia may launch a massive number of Oreshniks, okay, and do some serious damage to Ukraine. And today we had U.S. nuclear forces on high alert There were 4 nuclear war command and control planes up in the air today. One of them was actually communicating with our submerged nuclear-armed submarines off the coast of New Jersey. And then there was another one in the Gulf of Mexico and one off the coast of California. So our nuclear forces are on high alert for some reason. We also have Russia continuing to transmit data on one of their strategic frequencies, okay, known as the air horn. And we're also hearing that Russia is preparing for a massive missile strike on Ukraine potentially tonight or tomorrow. And this update was sponsored by EMP Shield. Guys, EMP Shield has created a special discount just for you, the listeners of the NYPrepper channel. If you go to empshield.com and use the promo code NYPrepper, you can get 15% off your entire order. And why do you need an EMP Shield? Well, this is a special device to protect your vehicle, your RV, your solar generators, your radios from an electromagnetic pulse, which could be caused by a solar flare or potentially a rogue country like North Korea detonating an electromagnetic pulse weapon over the United States that's mounted onto a satellite. So protect your vehicles, protect your RV, protect your radios, protect your generators with an EMP Shield. Use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off. Installation is super simple. This is a veteran-owned business, 100% American-made, and the EMP Shields have been tested by the military, okay? And free shipping is included to the entire continental United States. And the link and the promo code are in the description below this video. As many as 10 Tu-95 bombers and several Tu-160s were seen preparing for this. Also, as many as 160 missiles have been produced in recent weeks for this strike. And China may have stopped Putin from using nuclear weapons on Ukraine, according to Secretary of State Antony Blinken. China may have talked Russian President Vladimir Putin out of deploying nuclear weapons amid Russia's war against Ukraine. Outgoing U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said in an interview with the Financial Times on January 3rd, China may have exerted its influence over Russia to intervene when Putin was considering nuclear escalation, Blinken told the Financial Times. We have reason to believe that China engaged Russia and said, "Don't go there," he said. Blinken said the U.S. had been very concerned about Putin appearing to be considering using nuclear weapons against Ukraine, even if the probability went from 5 to 15%. When it comes to nuclear weapons, nothing is more serious, he said. Blinken also claimed that China may have intervened in a similar manner after the U.S. warned Beijing that Putin was planning to launch a nuclear weapon into space. He also claimed that the U.S. started sending critical weapons like Stinger and Javelin missiles 6 months prior to the invasion, as far back as September of 2021. So this is absolutely insane. Okay, Secretary of State Antony Blinken is saying that the U.S. believes that China talked Putin out of nuking Ukraine, okay, and also talked Putin out of deploying a nuclear weapon into space. And according to a member of the German parliament, the first meeting of Trump and Putin is going to take place in March. And the FBI is investigating bomb threats at SpaceX's Starbase facility after individuals had reportedly threatened to blow up a Starship rocket. There's also massive fencing going up around D.C. for the Trump inauguration. And also, Ukraine launched massive drone and missile attacks on Russia last night in Crimea, Belgorod, and near St. Petersburg. Crimea and Sevastopol were subjected to a massive Storm Shadow cruise missile and kamikaze drone attack. Reports are indicating the use of Neptune missiles by Ukraine as well. And Ukrainian forces also attacked the Belgorod region of Russia yesterday with 8 ATACMS missiles hitting key military targets. And drones reportedly targeted one of Russia's largest sea trade ports in Leningrad Oblast, so that's around St. Petersburg. Drones attacked Russia's largest commercial seaport, Ust-Luga, in Leningrad Oblast overnight on January 4th, the independent news channel Astra reported. Most of the drones that attacked Leningrad Oblast, located over 932 miles from the Ukrainian border, were shot down over the terminal of Novotrans, a Russian transportation and logistics company, Astra reported, citing its undisclosed sources. And governor of the Leningrad region, Alexander Drozdenko, reported that 4 drones were downed in Leningrad Oblast using electronic warfare and firearms. The attack damaged windows in one of the buildings on the port's territory, according to preliminary information. And he claims that there were no casualties. So this is very, very concerning, guys. Ukraine is really going after Russia hard, and they're striking deep with these Western missiles, the Storm Shadows and ATACMS, and now they're going after this massive seaport, okay, Russia's largest commercial seaport outside of St. Petersburg. Okay, this is very, very serious. And there is some video footage of one of these drones. Looks like it actually hit something, so the Russian governor may have been lying when he said that they shot them all down. Let me share the video with you. So here's video footage from Crimea and Sevastopol during the Storm Shadow missile strike. You can hear all the air raid sirens. And then here's one of the drones over Ust-Luga, largest commercial seaport in Russia. You can hear the Russians trying to shoot the drone down, but you'll see there's some kind of a kaboom and an impact of some kind. So I don't know how they shot everything down. If there's a massive kaboom, okay, you can see it right there. Okay, so looks like they might have hit something. This is very, very serious, guys. And we have a massive winter storm impacting the U.S. Multiple states under winter storm warnings. Okay, you can see here all of Maryland, all of Delaware, southern Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, all of West Virginia, most of Kentucky, most of Ohio, most of Indiana, most of Illinois, all of Missouri, all of Kansas, and a part of Nebraska, all under winter storm warnings. Everywhere you see pink here is a winter storm warning, and all the blues are winter weather advisories, and then the red is a blizzard warning. Okay, so guys, get prepared. They're talking about as much as a foot of snow in Washington, D.C., and really cold air is going to come down from Canada and impact the Gulf Coast states, the Deep South, okay, areas where people are not accustomed to cold weather. Remember what happened in Texas a couple of years ago, where people literally froze to death in their homes. Okay, you don't want that to happen. You don't want to get hypothermia or frostbite in your own home, so make sure you have warm clothing. Make sure you have some kind of a heat source, whether it's a wood stove, a buddy heater, a diesel heater, whatever it is. Make sure you have some kind of heat source. Get some wool blankets. They're not expensive. You can order a wool blanket for like $50 on Amazon, and they'll ship it within like 2 or 3 days or less sometimes. Okay, so get prepared. Make sure you have everything you need, not just for this storm, but for the rest of winter. And I want to just show you guys this cold air mass that's coming down from Canada. Some of these temperatures are really cold. Winnipeg, -15. In North Dakota, the temperatures are already dropping to nearly -20 degrees Fahrenheit. You can see here Minot is down to -17. Grand Forks, -13. International Falls, minus 11. So that cold air mass is working its way down. You can see much of the country under below freezing conditions here, all the way down to northern Georgia, okay, below freezing temperatures. This is very serious, guys, okay? There could be widespread power outages. They're talking about very, very high winds, as much as a foot of snow, and also up to 1.5 inches of ice in Kentucky, okay? So get prepared. And here we have a picture coming from Nebraska this evening. You can see basically whiteout conditions here on this highway. This is Highway 20 in Nebraska, and a bunch of road closures in Nebraska due to heavy icing. You can see all these roads here are covered in ice, completely covered in ice. And here we have video footage of the fencing going up in D.C. for the Trump inauguration. And just to let you guys know, I will be covering the inauguration live. Okay, so tune into my channel on January the 20th for all day and all night live coverage of the Trump inauguration. I'll probably start my coverage even the day before, okay, because I'm very concerned that something crazy could happen on the inauguration day or the day before or the day after. So I'm going to be on very, very high alert. You can see all the fencing here that they're putting up. And on Friday evening, a number of unknown drones were observed south of Copenhagen. No one knows who's behind it. On Saturday, Danish police said they were investigating around 20 mysterious drones that flew over the harbor in the city of Køge, south of Copenhagen, on Friday evening. Police are now investigating how many drones are involved and who owns them. No permission had been granted for drone flying in the area at the time. We believe we have identified 4 of them, but it is a bit difficult to say, says Asger Bechstrom, duty officer at the Middag Police. But there were at least some large drones flying out there. Of course, we take it seriously when we don't know where they're coming from, he said. Drones have also been observed in restricted zones in Norway recently. On Christmas Eve, 2 Chinese citizens were arrested after flying a drone in central Oslo. Okay, so very, very strange. 20 drones flying over this harbor in Denmark, and Chinese citizens arrested for flying drones in Oslo. And Transnistria is urging residents to heat stoves with wood amid significant gas shortages. Rolling blackouts have been scheduled and all industries have stopped working. Temperatures are expected to drop to minus 10 degrees Celsius in the coming days as a polar air mass works its way south. Vadim Krasnoselsky, the head of the Russian-led breakaway Transnistria region in Moldova, urged residents on January the 3rd to heat their stoves with wood whenever possible amid gas shortages. Russia's state-controlled energy giant Gazprom halted gas deliveries to Moldova on January the 1st, citing alleged unpaid debts by Moldova. The suspension triggered an energy crisis in Transnistria, which now faces industrial collapse due to widespread power outages. Authorities in Transnistria also rejected earlier Chisinau's offer to help the region purchase gas via European platforms. Some 1,500 high-rise buildings in Transnistria are currently without heating and hot water, and nearly 72,000 homes are without gas, according to Krasnoselsky. Krasnoselsky added that 150 boiler houses have been disconnected, while 2 large social facilities had been switched to diesel heating. Russian troops have been stationed in Transnistria since the early 1990s. So this is very serious, guys. Okay, Moldova is basically like a Russian territory, and there's no gas coming to that territory now. So Russia's going to be pissed off. Okay, the Russians are saying that it's because either Moldova didn't pay their debt, or it's because they did not renew the contract with Ukraine to allow gas to transit through Ukraine. So Putin's definitely not going to be happy about that. And Ukraine is going to receive their first batch of French Mirage 2005F fighter jets this month. The first 3 of 10 aircraft are expected to be delivered by January 20th. Some sources claim that they are already in Ukraine but are currently only used for training flights. The Mirage 2005F is the first European fighter delivered to Ukraine following the American F-16s. It took several months to train Ukrainian pilots on these aircraft, but they have already appreciated the advantages of the light and maneuverable fighter against Russian aircraft. The delivery was the result of lengthy negotiations between Emmanuel Macron and Vladimir Zelensky. So, guys, the Mirage 2000 fighter jets are nuclear capable, by the way, if you're not aware. And Trump is going to be meeting with Italy's Prime Minister Meloni at Mar-a-Lago tonight. I'm sure they're going to talk about Ukraine. And Biden intends to announce a ban on offshore oil and gas development in a significant portion of the U.S. coastal territory on Monday, according to Bloomberg. The ban will apply to the Pacific and Atlantic coasts, including the eastern Gulf of Mexico, and will affect a total of 625 million acres. At the same time, there are no plans to limit oil and gas production in the central and western Gulf of Mexico. Very interesting. And tonight we have a lot of reconnaissance in South Korea again. You can see here multiple U.S. Army recon planes flying near the DMZ, and also a South Korean recon plane here as well. Last night we saw the same thing. They were flying in the same area here, patrolling the DMZ. And then here you can see multiple P-8 Poseidon sub-hunter planes in the Mediterranean. You can see here as many as 5 P-8 Poseidon sub-hunters in the eastern Mediterranean near Cyprus and Crete. So this is very, very concerning. There were several over here off the coast of Crete doing loops. I'm not exactly sure why. That's very, very unusual to have this many P-8 Poseidons in the Mediterranean, especially right off the coast of Crete. Okay, and we've been seeing a lot of these sub-hunters in the Mediterranean over the last 3 days or so for some reason. We also had a sub-hunter fly to the Red Sea, probably to keep an eye on the Houthis or something related to that. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I will be back tomorrow with more breaking news, and I will be in the 24/7 live stream tonight, hanging out and monitoring EAMs. And until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere. And this update was sponsored by NYPrepper Supply. Guys, NYPrepper Supply is doing a massive sale on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the deal, you got to go to preparewithNYPrepper.com, and the link is in the description below this video. They're selling their 3-month emergency food supply for just $600. So that's $100 off the normal price. And this is 3 months of food at 2,000 calories per day. Has a shelf life of up to 25 years. And all of this is packed into 6 rugged water-resistant buckets. And free shipping is included. And they're also offering a disaster replacement warranty. So if your food supply gets destroyed by a natural disaster, they'll replace it for you with no charge. And they also will provide you with free survival books and information, including a natural disaster field guide, a survival Bible digital copy. So use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com to get $100 off the NYPrepper Supply 3-month emergency food supply, and the link is in the description below this video.